Hi guys, Mrs. Larson here. Aubrey asked me a fabulous question, and I realized there's a couple more things I could show you how to do on Pixlr that might be useful. The first one is, and I'm doing this differently than my last video. I just am using my dot cam because it's easier for me because I don't have to use WeVideo and edit and stuff, but hopefully this works as well. But if you have any more questions about how to do things, how to edit your photos on Pixlr, please shoot me your question. I will research how to do it. I'll figure it out and I will teach you. So don't hesitate if there's anything you want me to show you. Okay. So I'm just going to undo the things I did on this photo real fast. Okay, so I'm doing still life unit for my Art 2 students, and I noticed this still life is like wonky. It's off to an angle. So I wanted to show you how to straighten your images if you have a wonky image like this. So so first you need to select your image. So I'm going to go to this tool right here, this little dotted box, and I'm just going to draw a box over my whole image. I can always crop later. Then I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go to free transform. And then if I hover over a corner, I get this little round guy, this round corner. That's what I want to do. Why is it asking if I want to do that? I haven't transformed anything. And then I can just pull the corner down and adjust until I have it straight. And then I'm going to hit apply. Okay. If you try to do anything else, a window will pop up and ask you to apply it. Now, as you can see, this checkerboard stuff right here, this is like extra edges. So now I need to crop to get rid of that stuff, those corners, those edges. Okay, and then I'm going to hit apply. Okay, so that's how you straighten an image. The question Aubrey asked me is how to blur your background. That's called selective focus, when only one area of your photo is in focus and the rest is in the background. Fancy phones take pictures like that, selective focus, where it automatically does it for you on the camera. But if you just want to create that effect afterwards, I'm going to show you a couple ways. Now, this picture is super easy because the background is all basically one color. That's very different from anything in my subject. And so I have one way, so I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. So if you have someone, it's like they're outside and it's mostly green back here and it's easy to select, I'm going to go to this tool this is called the Wand Select tool. It helps me select things so it has chosen, it's just very smart tool. It has chosen to select all this stuff that's blue. Okay, and so since it's already selected, now I'm going to go to, I did this once. Now I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to go to blur. And now I can apply a blur to just that stuff that it selected. Okay, I'm going to obviously do it way much so you can see the effect. Okay, probably don't want to go that blurry, it kind of hurts my eyes. So I'm going to hit apply. Okay, now with that selection tool, I haven't played around it enough, but you can, if you click around, you can kind of change what it selected. Okay, so I should have done that first because it fixed some of these areas it was missing. If it's easier to select your subject, you click this right here and it'll switch what it's selected. Nope. You go to select, invert selection. Now my subject is selected, not my background. Okay, so if that's helpful to select your subject and then you go to select, invert selection, it just switches. Now my background is selected. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's one way. But if you have a very complicated background and it's not easy to select, to use that selection wand tool, I'm just going to go back to where I just cropped. Okay. The other tool is just the blur tool. This right here, it's a teardrop, blur, sharpen, or smudge. Okay. You can actually do the opposite. You can sharpen things, but I'm going to go to blur. Smudge, I don't know the difference between smudge and blur. You'll just have to play with it to see. And you'll want to control some things. I found the brush size 100 is a pretty good size. Okay, the bigger your brush goes, the slower the response is, and it like froze my computer when I did it too big. So I'm assuming with your Chromebook you should stick to 100 or smaller. Softness, I've found a smaller number is better as well too. If you do it too high, you get really weird effects. And step, I just left that. I think it was automatically at 20%. So, and then strength, you want that a lower number as well. I'll show you what happens if you don't. Okay, and then I'm just going to run my brush over this background, and you see that it is blurring it. Okay. Now, if you try and go ham on the controls and go way much in strength, you're going to end up with weird stuff. Actually, that's working fine now. It was being really janky before. Maybe it was the softness. I think I had my softness way up. So, okay, it's being fine now. Anyway, this whole thing, it's just experimenting. If you don't like the effect, that's what this lovely history tool is for. You can just click back to where you didn't like something. I can click all the way back to where I just opened my image. Or you can always do undo. So I would say with the blur tool, just work in small areas, okay? And then it adds a new part each time. So if you end up with something you don't like, you can just quickly go back without undoing everything you've done before. And you could do multiple passes. So even though I've already blurred this area, if I want it a little more blurry, I can go over it again. If you are trying to get into small areas, obviously that means just making your brush smaller to fit in those small areas. Wow, that's really small. Okay, I found with blurring, you can have pretty soft edges and a pretty large brush, and you can go in these areas. You don't have to be super tight right along the edges because it's a soft effect tool. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you guys, seriously, I was so excited when Aubrey, here, I'll turn the camera towards me. Hopefully this isn't too close. I was so excited when, oh, that's really dark, sorry. I'm backlit, that's why. I learned about that. Oh, and the lights turned off in the classroom. Okay. I was super excited when Aubrey sent me that question because it shows me she's like excited about this and trying to learn things that are useful to her. This online learning thing, it's so hard, you guys, because I don't want to just give you busy work and crap to do. You know me, I'm always asking you guys like if you're happy in your class and like what we're doing, and I want your input. So if there's anything you want to know, if you're working on your own art and you just want some feedback from me, like send me an email. I'd love to give you feedback on it. I'm here for you guys. It's just, I feel such a distance from my students because I'm used to just asking you guys how things are going or feeling the vibe and like teaching to you. And I don't have you here to base things off of. So, long story short, if you have any questions, please just shoot me an email. Ask. I would love to help you learn in any way possible. Okay, hope you guys are well, and yeah, just let me know how you're doing. Bye.